Germantown is a school where students say yes to an invitation to excellence. We proudly invite the leaders of tomorrow into the exciting world of learning today. The goal of the Germantown staff is to develop the whole child. While the focus of education is on the core curriculum, activities which develop social and emotional growth are also emphasized. The purpose of this program is to give you a sample of these activities, show you how students learn and interact with each other, and tell you how community involvement has been a tremendous part of the school's success. But I'd like to begin by telling you a little about Germantown Elementary's background. This Fairfax City school, now 35 years old, is holding on to its history while moving toward the 21st century. Since the school has been in existence, a gymnasium has been added, the library has been renovated, and many students have come and gone. These changes have occurred in response to the development of new technology and a changing student population. But one thing has not changed. The school still provides all of its students with a caring, family-oriented atmosphere. Whether from a family of longtime Fairfax residents or one new to the area, the students all work together toward the same goals. Germantown is a school where students say yes to an invitation to excellence. We invite you to see this excellence in progress. The ability to communicate is a necessity in today's fast-paced world. At Germantown, we have implemented several programs to develop students' communication skills. One such program is the We Deliver Mail service. These second and third graders perform the duties of postal workers on a daily basis, picking up, sorting, and delivering mail from all over the school. As you can see, our postal employees are hard at work preparing mail that will be delivered throughout our building today.
We have a delivery for you.
Oh, I've just received word that it's time to introduce Mrs. Persick, who will be talking with you about another communications activity, the book breakfast.
I feel that communication skills are extremely important. It's something that's required in every job, that you are able to communicate your ideas to other people. The book breakfast is an opportunity for the children to share books that they've read or books that have been read to them with their classmates. We call it a book breakfast because we bring in breakfast foods for the children to enjoy while they are sharing their books. These are books that have been read to them or books that they have read.
I have a sports book. It's Michael Jordan. It has lots of neat pictures. And I recommend this book to people that like basketball and sports.
It helps them to put their thoughts into words and to also sequence the events in a story. A lot of my students have a lot of difficulty expressing themselves. They have the thought, but it's very hard for them to get the thought out so that others can understand it.
Questions or comments for Kelly?
Sandra. Did the lion ever go away from the house?
No, because they were friends. And the lion lived in our backyard.
They really enjoy it. They seem to have a good time. They especially like the idea of having food. And when you have food and you're sitting back enjoying your breakfast, it's a lot easier to share books and open up with the other kids. And it does stimulate reading. I enjoy this activity. It gives the children a chance to express themselves and enjoy other books as well as eat a good breakfast. The children also seem to enjoy it, and it stimulates their interest in other books. We began this activity with our buddy class. It gave the children an opportunity to communicate with another group of children. And Mrs. Easton will tell you more about the buddy class program at our school.
The buddy program is another communication activity such as the book breakfast and We Deliver. Students working together, usually it's older students working with a younger class. In our case, it's a 6th grade class working with a 2nd grade class. We do different activities to teach the children to communicate more effectively together. And we do a lot of fun activities, which they enjoy. We work together in reading and writing. We've done some math activities. We've done some socializing together, and they really do enjoy that. You're seeing them making animals, puppets. We're celebrating spring, and we're doing that through the different animals. So they have discussed the different animals. They are deciding on what color to make their animal, which one to make, how to put it together. They have to read directions together. They have to decide who goes to get the materials, and so on.
After you're done with that, I can erase that and you can go on to another.
I think it's important for kids to know or to learn how to work well with people at different levels. We've gone down and helped the second graders write books together. They learn to communicate together in making decisions on, for instance, this morning's activities, and how to work well together, even though they're at different ages.
Okay, we need to make 2 light colors and 3.
The kids love it. They really enjoy working together. I've been real pleased that the 6th graders enjoy it as much, going down to help the 2nd graders. And they enjoy it. They even will come back. I've had some kids who are now in 3rd and 4th grade will stop by my room and say, "Oh, remember Mrs. Easton when we did, you know, whatever it was we did with them last year." So they remember it from year to year. They sometimes will ask us if we can come out with them at recess time. And it's fun to see that the 6th graders will actually play with the 2nd graders and enjoy it. So the kids like it a lot. WJES is also a communications activity, and Mrs. Leary will go into more detail about that program for you.
WJES is our in-school news broadcast. It's broadcast daily by closed-circuit TV in each one of the classrooms. We televise school announcements, local and national news, as well as have special guests and special presentations. WJES started about 8 years ago. It started primarily as a school announcement television program, and it evolved into more of a news broadcast. Students in grades 4 through 6 can participate as camera persons, news anchor people, and weather persons. At this time, the WJES news team will host the remainder of our program.
Hello, Channel 21 viewers, and welcome to Germantown Elementary. We are going to introduce you to several of our teachers who will describe some more of the outstanding programs at our school. First up to tell you about the staff development opportunities is Mrs. Boyle.
Lunch and Learn is an opportunity for the teachers to receive on-the-job training in the latest strategies that the Fairfax County is emphasizing. And it's an opportunity for teachers who have gone to conventions or had special training to come back and share that knowledge with other teachers during the school hours. My role in the Lunch and Learn was to conduct the workshop itself with one other person, and to basically show the teachers what the materials were, how they could be used, some ideas for taking them back into the classroom, and basically just to get the teachers excited about the new materials that we have bought.
Well, what the kids do then is tape the paper towel inside the baggie after they've taped their beans, and you can have them take as many as you want.
The first activity involved making a greenhouse for plants, beginning with the seeds and charting the growth. The second activity concentrated on or could be used with a geometry unit. It could also be used as an opening activity with children you don't know very well, and to get them to interact with each other and to use the metric system in measuring.
I want you to predict on your paper how tall you are in centimeters and how wide your arm span is from finger to finger. And after you've gotten your predictions on here, make sure you put in the right blank. you will measure each other. You will work in pairs, and you will measure your height, and you will measure each other's arm span. There's a yellow sheet of paper.
As a possible motivator for a geometry unit, you might want to use what shape are you? And the activity involves measuring your arm span length and your total height, and then comparing them and graphing the results. The teachers were doing that today. They were using the metric system to measure the arm span and their height, and then comparing the difference.
Well,
Well, then I'm a square. And the third activity involved presenting the pan balances that we've recently purchased, and allowing the teachers to use the gram stackers and the pan balance, and finding out how to get the pan balance in balance so that when the children use those, the teachers already know what the problems are and know how to deal with them.
So you're going to use your gram stackers, and you're going to find out how much the banana weighs, all right? And you record that on your paper. You're going to have a paper just like this.
This lesson is the first opportunity the children have had to use the pan balances and manipulate them using the gram stackers to measure the difference in weight of a banana in the peel and outside the peel. The importance is not whether the banana weighs more in the peel or the peel weighs more than the banana, but to give them an opportunity to use the pan balance and the gram stackers to find out. The Ames activities are always fun, or have been so far. I've done 2 workshops with the activities, and they're designed so that they will be fun, but they also teach some really good science concepts.
Just as math and science are important for our future, so is technology. Here's our 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Moore, to explain computers and more.
Our goals for technology at Germantown are to have the kids be literate or familiar with the different technologies that we have available, and to be comfortable exploring new problems and ideas. We're integrating computer use into many of our activities that we already do in the classroom and always have, but accomplishing our goals more easily and I think more interestingly for the kids. One of the things that we've done here at Germantown is a KidsNet program from National Geographic, which is called Hello, and another one is the electronic field trip to Drumlin Farm in New England. We'll also talk a little bit about the computer demo that you're going to see. KidsNet is a program furnished, or that we purchased through National Geographic Publishing, which is designed for elementary school use. It's a telecommunications program whereby we communicate with a group of other schools.
We have 12 girls and 10 boys in our class. We have a library. We think the greatest feature in our wish school is our huge gymnasium, library, and science lab, where we do our telecommunications.
Okay, great. Telecommunications is a combination of telephone and computer. We communicated with basically a mail drop over a telephone line that was put into the classroom. So the children could enter their information into the computer, and then it could be sent via telephone line to National Geographic, who then dispensed our statistics and information to the other 13 schools in our group. One of the students' favorite activities with KidsNet is to bring up the map of the United States, and then you can zero in, zoom in, or back away, depending on how much you want your map to include and how much detail you want. And then by rolling the mouse left and right and forward and backward, the screen registers the numbers for longitude and latitude, and it's fairly sensitive. And then they got the data about animals, I think, next, and we encouraged them to make predictions if there were a certain number of animals owned by a class, and I know that 1/4 of those animals are cats from the data. That's not so obvious to 5th graders, and we encourage the children to take an educated guess or make a prediction. And what'd you say? They're going to have fish, dogs, cats.
Dogs, cats, and
turtles.
We have birds.
Turtles, birds. What do they have the most of?
Maybe fish and dogs.
And it's nice because instead of having to draw a whole circle graph and then find out you have to adjust your estimate, you can estimate and call up the graph and see whether you were right or wrong and adjust your estimate without having wasted a lot of labor, which is what's discouraging, I think, sometimes to kids.
Right? Well, look at what this guy does.
Regis Burke is area instructional person, a part of the Area 4 staff. Her specialty is computers and technology, and she'll come out to the schools and either amplify what the teacher knows about a certain piece of software or demonstrate or bring new software and introduce the entire class. So she's our expertise in technology. The software you saw today with these kids was Kids Picks. It's a program that lets children either select a ready-made picture to illustrate something, or they can construct their own picture. They can thicken or make thinner the lines, choose the colors, add in parts that are pre-printed or stamped, and it gives them a chance to use their imagination and become familiar with the buttons and various features of the computer.
You're right, this animal has loads of fur. Good job.
The electronic field trip was to Drumlin Farm, which is in New England, and the idea arose out of a project that some of our teachers did for a college course that they were taking. They made a contact who knew about Drumlin Farm and called and see if it was something we could do here at Germantown, and worked it out.
What are your name?
My name's Cassandra Gooddeal, but you can call me Cassie if you like.
An electronic field trip is something that's sort of delivered to your school through TV and telephone at the same time. TV, which is really not basically an interactive medium. I sit and watch and the TV does the demonstrating. But with an electronic field trip, there's telephone contact with people on the screen. So it makes it much more immediate to the children, and they feel like they're manipulating the environment on the TV screen as well. So they could get on the telephone and actually ask the man they were seeing questions and hear their own voice or the voice of one of their classmates asking the question right now, right here, and have him answer their particular question. And the children were really very excited about it. And it gave them a chance to go someplace that they probably won't be able to go in actual fact.
At Germantown, the performing arts are important to every student. We gain confidence and expand our abilities under the direction of Mrs. Schmidt, our music teacher.
I think the goals for the performing arts program at Germantown are that every child is involved and that we address the whole child through the three learning styles of the oral experience, the visual experience, and the kinesthetic experience. Well, in the oral experience, we use the echo process. We use music for the children to listen to. In the visual process, there are always charts available for the children to learn from if they're a visual learner. And through the kinesthetic approach, we use movement and experience playing the instruments so they have the tactile experience.
The performing arts at Germantown include the components of art, music, and poetry.
Music, art, and writing are all related because they're each an art form. In each one of these, the children are allowed to be creative and expressive. They're allowed to deal with their emotions and express them through the writing or the drawing or the music.
Three tiny turtles tried tongue twisters. Three tiny turtles tried tongue twisters. Three tiny turtles tried tongue twisters.
Children wrote their own stories or their own poetry. Then they had an opportunity to express their literature through the art form, and the pictures you see are expressions of what they wrote. In their singing, this was an opportunity for them to do some choreography. They took certain words in the song and put choreographical movements with those. With the recorder, it's a very complex process in which the children take the skills they've learned in first and second grade and build on those skills, from simple stick notation to adding a note to the stick notation, transferring the stick notation and the note to the fingering process on the recorder, and it becomes an entirely whole child developmental process. First grade class was performing for our Time to Shine, where we had invited the parents into the music room to help us celebrate Music in Our Schools Month.
With the first graders, their gross motor skills are being developed through the use of the large muscles. They were learning to match pitch. They were learning to do some creative movements. Some of the movements you will see in the tape, the children had created themselves. In addition to that, they were learning about the musical phrase.
We are playing in the forest, for the wolf is far away. For the wolf is far away. Who knows what will happen to us? Who knows what will happen to us? If he sees us at our play. If he sees us at our play. Can someone raise their hand and tell the wolf how many phrases that song has in it? Cassie? Four phrases.
I think the students love it. I think they enjoy it because it allows them to gain self-confidence. It allows them an opportunity to be the star for a short time. I think it's a very positive experience for the kids.
Both parents and businesses are involved at Germantown. A third grade teacher, Ms. Schaefer, will tell you more about the way our parents are involved in volunteering.
Community involvement expands and extends our programs, and it allows the children to be seen more often. We have more people helping in the classroom than the children are seen more times than if I were in the classroom by myself. In my class today, they were doing the artist Georgia O'Keeffe. They brought in the portfolio with her pictures and with information about her, and they gave background to the children about the artist, about her techniques and her life.
Yes, Josephine?
What kind of paint did she use?
I think she used a lot of oil and acrylic paint. She used a lot of watercolors. She did a lot of sketching. She used charcoal. Her original pictures that were the major success in New York were drawings. So she used all kinds of different media.
And then they provided materials for the children to do pictures of Georgia O'Keeffe or similar to her techniques and her styles. The parents provided shells and bones and live flowers for the children to draw from. They used an off-white paper, and they were using charcoals and pastels to do their pictures with. The purpose of the activity is to extend our art program. We only have an art teacher 1/4 of the year, so it expands our program and gives the children a little bit more experience with the art and the art background. The parents have been very enthusiastic with this program, with the arts program, as well as the volunteer program at the school. It's growing. When we first started, we had very few, and each year we see more parents coming in, and they just seem very happy to be here and to be able to help us.
Very good, Marcy.
Look at the flower.
That's right. Look at the flower.
Look at the flower.
See where the dark is and the light. See where the shadow is.
Oh, cool.
The kids are really proud to have their parents come into the classroom. They get very excited if their particular parent is coming that day to read or to do the art lesson or to help with the workshop. I've never seen any not want a parent in the room. They're just very, very glad to have them there. The staff loves having the parents here. We value their support. We couldn't do a lot of what we do if we didn't have their help. Other ways that the community is involved with our school are businesses helping us. Giant connected up with us for the receipts for computers and computer software. Other local businesses provide funds or manpower for programs or events at the school. We have ongoing assistance from our business partner, the Cincinnati Bell Information System. They provide many things for us, which Kathy Lesage will tell us about.
Our partnership is with the Cincinnati Bell Information Systems, which is located in the Fair Lakes region of Fairfax County. Our school is particularly fortunate to have the Cincinnati Bell Information System provide us with 26 tutors who meet with our students on a weekly basis, 136 pen pals who correspond with our students regularly throughout the year.
There's 4 and 8 and a half.
16.
Okay, you've got fractions. Now we're going to study them.
So what was the plot of Chapter 5?
Well, he goes into a dog race and he has to pay $50.
$50 to enter it? Where'd he get the $50 from?
Savings account.
What was that savings going to be for?
College.
So he was really taking a chance.
Our students feel privileged, I think, to have the tutors. They enjoy working with them, and they enjoy the personal relationship that they develop by working with them throughout the year.
How are you doing? I hope you are doing fine. I had baseball tryouts tonight, and I'm not that nervous. I know I will do good. I drew a picture at my house that I would like to give to you and your son. Well, I will be signing off now. Your friend, Danny.
Today, the students were writing a letter to their pen pal at the Cincinnati Bell Information Systems. They were practicing their writing skills as well as the proper way to write a letter. My class is exciting to be participating in this program. They love receiving mail from their pen pals. They enjoy writing letters to their pen pals. They especially like getting mail when their pen pals are off on travel and we get postcards or we get letters from foreign countries or interesting places in the United States. It's a real fun experience for them to get pictures and photographs of their pen pals and their families and their pets, and to get to know other people.
Mrs. Pope, you and the Germantown teachers have given each of us an invitation to achieve. Do you have any closing thoughts?
Students are exposed to a contrasting environment during their years at Germantown. This small school, full of tradition, lends students the feeling of pride and belonging, while the implementation of technology leads them toward the 21st century. Within this environment, students are working together to reach common goals. They are developing their knowledge and abilities, as well as their confidence, through communications activities, the arts, and a strong core curriculum. These programs are implemented by a staff which is continually developing through coursework and teacher-to-teacher training to provide their students with a high-quality education. In addition, the support received from partnerships with parents, community, and businesses extends opportunities for each child to reach his or her potential. At Germantown, students say yes to an invitation to excellence.